Bracketology Villanova, Virginia, Purdue and Duke are on track for top seeds. The task of trying to figure out the NCAA tournament's field of 68 is going to be different this year. Maybe. Perhaps the decision for the 10-person selection committee to place greater emphasis on road and neutral court victories starting this season will make a massive difference in how it makes its choices. But it's also possible the differences will be minute. This bracket projection, and every subsequent version in the weeks to come, then, is an attempt to guess how the committee will make its choices. In one way, this isn't different from any other year. It is a guessing game. It's just more of an educated guessing game when there are past choices to study. For example, by last year it was clear the committee shift in 2015 towards rewarding quantity of noteworthy victories, no matter how many opportunities a team enjoyed, wasn't an aberration. It was also clearly a boost for power conference schools. There's no track record to account for the latest tweaks. So while a borderline tournament team with strong road results like Louisiana State should, in theory, benefit from this year's changes, no one will know for sure until March 11th. East Region Pittsburgh, 1, Big East, Villanova vs. 16, Southwestern Athletic, Jackson State Ivy/Penn, 8, Texas Christian vs. 9, Florida State Boise, Idaho, 5, Cincinnati vs. 12, Summit, South Dakota State, 4, Tennessee vs. 13, Colonial, William and Mary Nashville, 3, North Carolina vs. 14, Metro Atlantic, Iona, 6, Ohio State vs. 11, Alabama Pittsburgh, 7, Mountain West, Nevada vs. 10, UCLA, 2, West Virginia vs. 15, Big South, Radford a Big 5 game in the Berg. Sounds like as compelling a potential 1/16 matchup as anyone could hope for. Jamie Dixon taking TCU back to his old stomping grounds would be a wonderful subplot, and was entirely unintentional in this exercise. It'd be just William and Mary's luck to finally make the NCAA tournament and have to go all the way to Boise to play. It's possible North Carolina gets crowded out of the Charlotte sub-regional. For the moment, top seeds Virginia and Duke are ticketed to anchor that site. In a perfect world, Nevada vs. UCLA would be played a little closer to the West Coast. The placement in Pittsburgh is a function of following bracketing rules. The best home court advantage in this bracket is either West Virginia, Kansas, Wichita, or Michigan State, Detroit. South Region Charlotte, 1, Atlantic Coast, Virginia vs. 16, Atlantic Sun, Florida Gulf Coast Northeast/Robert Morris, 8, Creighton vs. 9, Texas San Diego, 5, Gonzaga vs. 12, Mid-American/Buffalo, 4, Southeastern, Auburn vs. 13, Southern, East Tennessee State Detroit, 3, Michigan State vs. 14, Ohio Valley, Belmont, 6, Louisville vs. 11, Houston Wichita, 7, Florida vs. 10, Southern California, 2, Kansas vs. 15, Big West, Cal State Fullerton. Yes, Virginia fans, Michigan State is in your quadrant of this bracket projection. It's also January 16th. Chill. Creighton vs. Texas would be a wonderful offense-defense contrast. Gonzaga's seeding is going to be a curiosity this season, especially if it plows through the West Coast Conference. The Bulldogs are well regarded by KenPom.com, not so much by the ratings percentage index. Why is Wichita hosting a New Year's Six game? Florida Southern Cal. Stop if you've heard this one before. The edge of the field isn't so great. Houston has strength of schedule issues and a dreadful loss, Drexel, but it narrowly avoids a play-in game. Kansas jumped a line after last night's victory at West Virginia. The profiles put together by the top 4 teams in the Big 12 are incredibly stout. Midwest Region Detroit, 1, Big 10, Purdue vs. 16, Big SKY/Montana, 8, Notre Dame vs. 9, St. Mary's Boise, Idaho, 5, Seton Hall vs. 12, Western Athletic, New Mexico State, 4, Kentucky vs. 13, Horizon, Wright State Wichita, 3, Clemson vs. 14, Missouri Valley, Drake, 6, Arizona State vs. 11, Boise State, Marquette Dallas, 7, Atlantic 10/Rhode Island vs. 10, Conference USA/Middle Tennessee, 2, Texas Tech vs. 15, Southland, Stephen F. Austin. Purdue's profile is exceptional, with 4 top 50 victories away from home and another 2, over Maryland and Minnesota, in the top 70 at the moment. Its biggest problem is this year's Big Ten doesn't provide many chances at high-end victories. Bonzie Colson's injury has the potential to make Notre Dame a Selection Sunday wild card. If it struggles without him, then he gets back for a couple weeks and the Irish look strong. Good luck figuring out the seeding. Maryland comes up 1 play short in a game of wild swings at Michigan. With all respect to the underrated Brad Brownell and his tough, veteran-laden Clemson team, seeing the Tigers seeded ahead of Kentucky in the same bracket just looks weird. Clemson will try to end its 0-4 forever drought at North Carolina on Tuesday night. Texas Tech as a number 2 seed seems equally odd, but the Red Raiders are for real. They've already won at Kansas for the first time and edged West Virginia. West Region Charlotte, 1, Duke vs. 16, Mideastern Athletic, North Carolina A&T, 8, Arkansas vs. 9, Butler San Diego, 5, Pac-12/Arizona vs. 12, Louisiana State, Syracuse, 4, American, Wichita State vs. 13, America East, Vermont Nashville, 3, Xavier vs. 14, Sun Belt, Lafayette, 6, Michigan vs. 11, St. Bonaventure Dallas, 7, Miami vs. 10, Texas A&M, 2, Big 12/Oklahoma vs. 15, Patriot, Bucknell. It's early, of course, but North Carolina A&T making the tournament a season after winning just 3 games would be a great story. Arkansas has lost in the round of 32 to North Carolina in its last 3 NCAA tournament trips. Getting put in the same pod as Duke isn't exactly an upgrade. Getting a few Western teams to the number 4 line or better would be a help to the committee. Arizona looks like it's on its way. LSU owns a surprisingly good profile. Wins at Arkansas and Texas A&M and a defeat of Michigan in the Maui Invitational nudge the Tigers in as the last team into the field. St. Bonaventure's at-large fate is probably tied to its victories over Maryland and Syracuse holding up for another 2 months. That's not ideal. Texas A&M is 0-5 in the SEC, but its strong non-conference work more than outweighs a few crummy weeks in January, for now. The Aggies need to turn things around quickly. Last 4 included Boise State, Syracuse, Marquette, LSU. First 4 on the outside, Providence, Missouri, Georgia, Maryland. Next 4 on the outside, Central Florida, Southern Methodist, NC State, Oregon. Conference call, Atlantic Coast, 9, Southeastern, 8, Big East, 6, Big 12, 6, Big 10, 4, Pac-12, 4, American Athletic, 3, Atlantic 10, 2, Mountain West, 2, West Coast, 2 more college basketball. At end of winning college basketball career, home is where the rebounds are. Virginia shut down North Carolina State to stay perfect in ACC play. Feinstein, these are happy days for Bob Huggins at West Virginia. Is Trae Young the second coming of Steph Curry? That's for his father to